Right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Rich. Welcome, everybody who's here tonight. We're excited to host our second Zoom Zocial. When you came in, there was our little back-to-school photos, a collage of various library staff members throughout their childhood. So tonight's Zocial is for middle school and high schoolers. We are going to share some great resources, great library resources that you can use for school or just for yourself. My name is Courtney. I am one of the co-hosts tonight, including Tony, and we are both from South Cumberland Library, and we're super excited to have you here tonight. So just a little bit of housekeeping. Just a reminder, we do ask that all participants stay muted until the end. We will be having a Q&A session at the end of our demonstrations, and we will be introducing a few of our service leaders, some other staff members, and we are recording this session, so please keep that in mind. It will be on YouTube probably by the end of the week once we edit everything. And if you have any questions, though, in the meantime, please feel free to leave them in the chat, and we will include that as well. So thank you guys so much, and we'll let Tony introduce herself.
All right, hi, I'm Tony Richards, and I have been a service specialist here at the Allegany County Library System for the past 2.5 years about. And first I was in the LaVale Library, and then now I'm here at South Cumberland while LaVale is being remodeled. And actually prior to LaVale, I was part-time moving around to different branches. So I got to meet with lots of the different service leaders and work in the different branches as well, and meet the different staff in the different branches. So anyhow, a little bit about me, just a few minutes, few seconds actually. But we, my family and I, we've had children, and we've homeschooled them, and we've had children in public school. And so we've had a variety of experience with different educational options. And my daughter, she is currently a sophomore in nursing, studying nursing, and she's away at college. And my son is a 16-year-old. He was actually, he's in the public school system. He went to Mountain Ridge, and this year he is down at the Career Center, and he's studying in the P-TECH program, which is a really cool program for him, and it's a good fit for him. So anyhow, that's a little bit about me. We really want you to know that we are here for you in the Allegany County Library System, and that's the main reason we're here tonight, to let you know that we're here for you and to be a support for you and your family and your students as you go through this education journey. So without any more discussion from me, we're going to go ahead and move on to the library staff that are on the call with us tonight, and we're going to go ahead and let Courtney take over for that.
All right, before I do that, just a little bit about myself, because I forgot to introduce myself, which sometimes happens. My name's Courtney Mckay Jensen, recently married, so I had to add that on there. I was born and raised in Allegany County, so I did attend Allegany County school systems, and I still have family in the school systems currently, both at Braddock and West Side. And a mother who subs in the school system. So I'm always excited to share resources that they can utilize and other students can utilize in their daily life. I've been with Allegany County Library System almost 2 years now at South Cumberland Library, which of course Tony and I are representing South tonight. And you may know me from our Wellness Wednesdays on our Facebook page, or hosting our stamped book discussions, or maybe even live at 2. So I'm excited to be hosting again tonight with Tony and getting things started. So to start off, we'll introduce our first service leader, our branch manager, Kathy.
Hi everyone, I'm Kathy, and I am the service leader here in Westernport, downtown Westernport. I'm a native of Westernport, and I've worked here at this branch for nearly 3 years. I do want to mention that the kids that are in middle school and high school, you know, homework is a fact of life for those students. And the longer you get into school, the more homework you get. And before you even think about getting stuck on like a science project or a math quiz or something, take advantage of what the library system has to offer. Tonight, Tony and Courtney will share the resources that we have available, and I think it's going to be very helpful, you know, going down the line to do your homework, to look these resources up. But, you know, enjoy your school life.
Thanks, Kathy. Up next is Regina. Oh, you're muted, Regina.
There we go. I always forget that part. Sorry. I'm Regina Spiker. I am the service leader at the Georges Creek branch here in Allegany County, or Coney as we always call it. And I've worked here for over 13 years in various capacities. Lived here all my life. I went to Central Elementary School, which was on Main Street, and then I attended Valley High School, which is now Westmore Middle. I have 3 grandchildren, 1 grandchild in the Garrett County school system, and I have 2 dogs, 2 cats, and 3 very ornery goats in the backyard. We have some wonderful, wonderful resources here in the library system. We have wonderful items in our collections that we'd love to get into your hands. We have books and audios and ebooks and everything that you would really love to read or listen to, we can put into your hands. So give a call at any branch and we'd be happy to help you.
Awesome. Thanks, Regina. Connie?
Hi, my name is Connie Wilson, and I'm the service leader here at Frostburg, and I just want to welcome you all to the library system. We have a lot of great databases that are like periodicals, and I wish we had this when I was growing up. So I have been with the library system for 23 years, and you know, so just want to welcome everybody, and hope you can learn something.
Thanks, Connie. Laura?
There we go. My name is Laura, and I'm the service leader at the Washington Street Library. I know it's a very strange and difficult time out there, and things look a lot differently than they used to, but one thing libraries and librarians are great at, and that's adapting and changing to help the community around us, which is our goal. So we want to let you know that if there's anything that we can do, please contact us, and we'll do everything that we can to help you. We still have access to a lot of great resources, so please feel free to email or call, and we'll do what we can to help you. So welcome everybody, and we're here to help, so let us know if we can.
Thanks, Laura. Kate?
My mouse isn't wanting to work, and now it's, oh lordy. Okay. Hi, I'm Kate. I am one of the program specialists. I've worked with the library for 12 years. I've been doing children's programs for 8 years. I love to work with middle and high schoolers to find like required reading and things they you know, suggestions, stuff like that. So shoot me an email, and that's about all.
Awesome. Thanks, Kate. So we have a ton of other staff, of course, in the library system, but this is just a short snippet of some faces so you can get to know them from around the county. So thank you guys, and we'll go ahead and have Tony share some of our great databases that you or your student can use when doing research or doing projects. They're really amazing.
All right, just give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen here. And can you hear, everybody can hear me okay? All right, good. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And when we are looking at, let me see here. when we're looking at the main website, the home button on the left-hand side is a good place to start, because no matter where you are within the in the website, if you always go back to the left-hand side and where our icon is, you can always find the home screen, and then it'll bring you back to this first page. So that's important to know. The center section here, it talks about, this is searching our library catalog. So we had talked about this actually the other night as well. And so this is kind of like the old school times where you would pull out the old library catalog and the library cards and find things. You can do this 24 hours a day. And so your students or you can go in here and type an item or an idea, and you can find out everything in our library catalog that would relate to that you can put on hold from your home, and we can also get that to you when that comes in. Over on this blue icon you see is the account, and you're going to log in to your account. It'll keep, this is where you'll be able to put holds and things, and Courtney's going to go through that a little bit later, but you can put your barcode in, which is your library card, and then your password, which is your last 4 digits of your library card, and that will allow you to get access into the library card catalog to put holds on and to get access to the resources we're going to talk about tonight, some of them. Here's our contact us button over on the right as well, and this will give you the phone numbers to all the different branches. Down here a little bit lower, you can see you can also submit a question to our library. You can always check us out on Facebook, and all the different branches have the Facebook, so you can message us if you have questions as well. But so there's multiple ways you can get in contact with us. On this menu button, it'll open up some new options. So our locations, you can go through those and scroll through those. Our services, this is talking about our current sidewalk service and how you can get books, put them on hold, and then we can call you and let you know when they're ready. Here is a great resource, new how-to videos. And these videos are, they go over some of the content we're talking about tonight, but then there's more. So this will go over like this A to Z Food America. We're not talking about this tonight, but it'll give you a tutorial of how to go about using that if you would like. Our Gale books and authors, we're not talking about, they will be showing up in our resources, but there's a lot on here that you can go through. One thing specifically that I wanted to note tonight that is of benefit to middle school, high school students in our, if you go down to the bottom in this section, is the research essentials, and these are very good for helping students who are just getting comfortable with research and doing papers. So those are great options to go through and browse and give you some tutorials to look through that way. And then there's some other information, but we're going to go back up here, and you can also look at the tutorials on here. If you search on the right-hand side, my computer's a little bit slow right now. Hold on. It's wanting to take me back, but it's not going back. There we go. Okay. So services, our interlibrary loan, Marina, which is going to be talked about by Courtney as well. You can get different books from over the state. And then let's see here, events, all of our events that you might be interested in will show up in this tab. And underneath here, you can find out about the story time or back to school resources, and then how to get a library card. Your student will have all students in Allegany County have what is called a STAR card, and that is available. If you don't know your STAR card, or if you don't know your student's STAR card, you can contact us. There is on the student page, and we'll take you there. I'll show you a little bit later, but we'll take you there, and you'll be able to see that the STAR card allows students to have at least 3 books that they can check out from the library, and then also they can use most of the online databases that are available so that they can complete their schoolwork. It allows us to, I believe it's Canopy, it'll allow you to view some videos there, but Hoopla is the only one it doesn't allow, but we'll get into that. But everyone can apply for a regular library card as well. And so, and then there's our contact us. So we have that, and with that, I'm going to turn the rest over to Courtney for a little bit, and she'll go through some items. Actually, it's my turn, isn't it? Sorry, Courtney. I was like, I'm going to turn this over to Courtney, but then I remembered it's my turn. So I'm going to talk about a few resources in the student resource section. And so if you're on the main web page and you go down to student resources, we're going to find the middle school and high school learners, and this is where they would enter. But I want to take you down here. If you don't know your star card, you can come down to the section and you can request your star card from this information. So just you need to put your last name and first name, your date of birth, and then your email, and we can get back with you. This gives you the details up at the top that talks about what is available with your star card. So check out library books, use the databases, download audiobooks and ebooks. I didn't mention that earlier, and Courtney's going to talk about that later. But get free homework help, which is a great benefit, and that's one of the databases or one of the resources we're talking about tonight as well. So let me go back. So here we enter the middle school and high school learners, and Gale Databases is a amazing wealth of information that we have access to. And you're going to notice here on this page, it talks about Gale One File High School Edition and Gale in Context Middle School. We are going to focus tonight primarily on the Gale in Context, and they have Gale in Context in high school and middle school. And in talking with some of the representatives from Gale, they had mentioned, you know, that's a great starting place for research. And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can show this video and share it with my screen. And if I'm having any trouble doing this, Courtney, just let me know. I'm going to enlarge it, and then I'm going to go ahead and play it. This is an introduction to researching with Gale. Does everybody hear that okay?
When you're having trouble choosing a research topic, in-context resources provide paths to get you started. Start by clicking Browse Topics, where you can generate ideas and choose from a list of frequently studied subjects. Read the overview on a topic page for a quick introduction to key themes. To continue building thorough background knowledge, check out the reference section. These articles are pulled directly from trusted encyclopedias. If you want to expand your search or change your research direction, look at related subjects. You can also access Topic Finder, which provides a graphic organization of results related to your search. Use it to refine your research, discover connections between topics, and find sources that fit your needs. Navigate the topics that interest you and start putting together the sources you need for quality research.
Okay, so hopefully that gave you some helpful information to give you an overview of what we were talking about with the Gale. It kind of gives you a little bit of a snippet of what it's all about. I wanted to go down here. So we are going to actually go over to the middle school section right now. And I'll show you where that is. This is the Gale books and authors that we were talking about. We're not going to go into great detail tonight in the Gale ebooks. Gale has a lot of different databases within Gale itself. And so here's the Gale in Context Middle School, and there's also one for the high school. If I go in, and then there's the Gale One File News, there's Gale One File Middle School. So they recommend, and when I talk with them, just to stick with the Gale in Context Middle School for your starting points. The difference between the Gale in Context Middle School and the Gale One File is that the One File is more about periodicals and gets you ready for college type work. And then the in context will give you a variety of things. So you'll have age appropriate videos and newspapers, it says here, magazine, primary sources, and some periodicals. So we'll start here. And these are highly, these are constantly updated. They're highly vetted. And so these are trustworthy resources that you can go to and send your student to so they can find research and gather information on the internet. If you go, and I'm going to move my box down here, it's getting in the way there. So if you were to go over here to the right, and they showed that you can browse topics and you can also take notes. I'm going to go ahead and type in, let me go down here, I'll go down to government. So it allows you to browse topics to get some ideas flowing. Say we want to look up Federalist Papers. I can go here and I can read more about it. I basically can listen to this. There's an audio. I can listen to the reading. There's information at the very beginning that tells me about when this was published. So I'm looking at the Federalist Papers actually. So these are primary resources as well that you'll find, primary documents you'll find as well. And then it'll read it to me. I can go in here and I can send this to myself. I can cite it. I can also take notes and highlight things. So if I were to highlight a section on here, now let me go ahead and highlight this again. So I would highlight it, and I can even add a note to that if I want to. So I'm just going to put a note. I'm not going to think up anything too crazy. But when I go through and I could highlight different sections of it, different colors based on the information I want to keep track of. And then when I go into highlights and notes, it'll keep it separate. So if I were looking at a longer, actually down here further I could go, but I could email this to myself. I can print it, I can send a link, and I can also download it. The great thing about it also is the citation sources at the bottom. You can, it'll bring this up for you. You can link it to EasyBib or ReferenceWorks. It'll work with Google Drive or OneDrive. So all of these can be sent to your Google Drive or your OneDrive if you're using Microsoft. So, and you can sort it through the different types of ways you want to cite those sources, depending on what your teacher is asking you. It'll give you some related subjects on the right-hand side and then some background about it as well. So we can go into that. The one thing I will mention that's really important, that is whenever you're doing your highlighting, if you want to keep that work and keep it, download it to your Gale, or to your OneDrive or to your Google Drive, or send it to yourself, because once you exit out of this search and exit out of this session, then it's going to remove those notes. So you want to make sure you take care to save your information. So that is briefly Gale in Context Middle School. You can explore lots of topics throughout, like this one, when you search the Ruth Bader Ginsburg, when we search that, it'll show me biographies. You can filter things over here to the right, and I think it showed that in the discussion. Here's the topic finder they talked about in the video we watched. Images, this is a great place to find images. I know that my son has used this for different PowerPoint projects he's had to do for school, and these are images that you can use, and you can cite those images. It'll show you how to cite them. Videos, and then some audios, and then here's the magazines further down, and here's some news sources, and it'll tell you when they were published. It'll tell you how to cite each thing that you are going through as well. Let me look back here. So that's Gale in Context Middle School. And the high school is pretty similar to that. We just had reviewed that, and it's very similar. So I'm not going to take the time today to go through that. I'm going to go back here though, and I'm going to go into our Brainfuse, which is another wonderful resource that we can't say enough good things about. Give me one second here. All right, so Brainfuse, and I'm going to switch out of this for a second because I have another, I'm logged into it in another location. I'm going to log in real quick. Give me one second. And then I'll start sharing again.
While she's logging in, I'll just note we are showcasing our databases at the beginning of the talk tonight. It was a little bit heavier information, and then we get a little bit lighter. So bear with us. There's just so many great things about the databases. So we just want to make sure we highlight the best parts.
All right, so this is Brainfuse. And Brainfuse is pretty much like having, for students, a live tutor available to them. And that's I said 8 days a week. I said that earlier this week too, and then Liz started to sing the Beatles song. 7 days a week. There's only 7 days in a week. We all know that. And so, so 7 days a week, they have tutors on, and it's between 2 p.m. and midnight that you can access those tutors. They are live, and they are also vetted and safe to use for your family. I talked with a representative, and he was very confident in the people that they hired to talk with you. Sometimes they're graduate students. They can help you with FAFSA and learning how to put that together for parents and students. You can take practice tests. You can do all kinds of things. This is the live tutoring section, and this is by grade. If you were, the older you get, the more options you have as to what specific specialty that you want to focus on. And so, and then you can go into, let's see, so if we were to go in, and I can't show it tonight because it doesn't have that capability, we tried it earlier, you would just click live help, and then it would take you and sign you into a live tutor that can help you with that specific content. Under Writing Lab, this is another wonderful and very useful resource. You can take your document, if you're writing a paper or you're writing a report on something, and you can upload it from your computer, add some comments. It'll ask you when you submit it to put you're gonna need an account for this section too as well. Brainfuse, you need to sign up with an email, and I think it's a username and password, and then they'll ask for your email because they want to get back to you and give you the feedback for their writing information that they want to get back to you and feedback about that. So within 24 hours, they will send you suggestions and reasons why they are giving you those suggestions. They have a rubrics they follow, and we've used that as well. My daughter used it in her, I think, freshman year of college, and they gave her really great feedback that was practical and applicable to what she was trying to accomplish in her paper. So that is that. And then at any point down here, there's a skills surfer section. When you are wondering about how to do something, and say I'll go to the high school section, and I'm working on trigonometry per se. And let's see, if I'm working on trigonometry identities, then if I get stuck in this section, so it'll take me into there. And then if I get stuck, I can come up here at the top and get live help immediately, or I can send a question. If I can't get to it then, and I'm going to be heading out for a little bit, I can send them a question and they'll get back to me. They have access to see where I'm getting caught up, and the tutors will actually get back to you and say, well, or if you finish a test or if you finish an exam within this, a practice test, they'll say, well, it looks like you keep getting caught up in this section. So it's a pretty good, it's a great resource for students who are wanting to get their skills even better than what they are at currently. And I'm trying to think if that's all. You also can do some collaboration on here. I think you can study with some students if you also share the information with each other. And I'm going to go back here one more time and see. Flashbulb over here is about flashcards, and then there's a language lab, and here's your FAFSA. So you can learn about that there. And then the other resource we're going to go through real quick. Don't mind me trying to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of that. This is our Learning Express. And Learning Express allows you to, like it says right here, find test tutorials and ebooks. You can download, I downloaded an ebook in my account, actually, I think it was on chemistry. And it looks like the type of book that you would see at Barnes and Nobles or another bookstore that helps you work through a content of a specific area. So if it's in a certain type of geometry that you're working on or whatever. Here is the school center. And if I go into the middle school, let's see. Here are the options that I can improve on. So if I need basic math practice, there are 4 self-tests in here. And so I can sign in. I need to sign in to be using this to its full capacity, so it'll keep and save where I'm at, but it'll keep track of what you are, where you're at in the process of learning. There are tutorials on here. There's also ebooks available for you. And there's also college and job prep on here for older students who are in the high school level that might be of interest to them. I'm trying to think where else in here. If I go back to the home, the one thing I forgot to mention, and I think it's in here, there's some information in here too as well, is this career prep. There are some resources in here for as you're getting ready to go into school. So some students may be going into studying for the cosmetology exam or something of that sort from the Career Center. And so you can prepare with different study sessions on here for that. And so that'll give you an option as well. There are, I think on the Brainfuse as well, I want to jump back to that real quick. There's a section on there for related to your resume. And so you can go ahead and fill out your resume and then submit that, and they'll give you feedback there too. So lots of job help, lots of skills for older students as well. So I think that is a lot of what I wanted to cover for the first few. So I'm going to stop sharing here, and then I'm going to turn this back over to Courtney for a little bit.
Thanks, Tony. Yeah, absolutely. Gale, Brainfuse, Learning Express, they're really great resources that you can use for your students when you're researching, and they have so many great tools. We could share, an entire time in that, an entire night. So I'm going to highlight one of the most important tools on our website, how to search our catalog. So when you're looking for a specific item or a book, we can just come up to our catalog. As you can see, I have some suggestions here of ones that I have searched in the past. So tonight, I might be interested in finding items about Native Americans. So I can search in here, Native Americans, either hit the enter bar or that little magnifying glass, and it comes up with 435 items that I could look through. Well, I don't want to look through 435 items. So we do have this fantastic little tab over here on the left, how we can narrow our search so we can find ones that are relevant to us. So I want to make sure that the item I'm looking for is available now. It isn't checked out. It isn't currently being shipped to someone else. I want a specific type of material. Let's say I want a book versus a DVD or an audiobook about Native Americans, because maybe I'm going to use this for research. As you can see, it's starting to narrow down the numbers. We're at 251 here. I could narrow it down by subjects or authors, theories, publication year. We really have a ton of great ways to kind of narrow down in that database in our catalog to something we specifically want. So I might decide that, I really want nonfiction books about Native Americans, and I can see what branch it's currently at. So the cool thing about our catalog now, we just recently updated, and we are now connected with Allegany, not only just Allegany, but we are connected with Washington and Garrett counties. So I can see all the different library branches that have books on Native Americans. So I'm at South Cumberland Library, so I may want to get a book specifically from South Cumberland Library. And now I can see that there are 9 books in South currently about Native Americans. So I can come down here. We're showing you how to place a hold. So I might decide that I really want this book on the French and Indian War. So in the French and Indian War, you can see with this book the availability. If I click on this, I can see there's also one in Hagerstown. So if for some reason there would be an issue with this, I know that there's another copy, and I can place my request here. So once I hit my place request, I can put in my library card number. My password is the last 4 digits of the card, unless you change that, which for me, I've changed it. And once I log in, I can pick my pickup branch. So if for some reason I know I'm going to be at Frostburg tomorrow, I could place that on hold in Frostburg and pick that up. Currently during our sidewalk service, we are asking that you wait, and once we call you that the item's in, we can schedule a hold. But of course, once things are back to normal, we can either send you any type of notifications that you put in your account. So we have email notifications, text notifications, or of course, phone calls. So that is how you place an item on hold. Another really cool thing is once you come into that full display, you can do that by either this little button here or on the item. You can see the whole preview of it, including just a description of the subjects, there's notes, a summary, and I can see suggestions and more. So if I really like this book, there are similar titles, there's similar authors. This is a really great tool we like to use to kind of take a look. And it also has novelists there, which then I can look at more items like that. If the book I'm looking for is not in the library, we have an amazing resource that you can use to place items on hold throughout the state. It's called our interlibrary loan. So if you come back up to the menu here, we'll scroll over to services, and we now have an interlibrary loan Marina tab. We added this because it was a little hard to find. And with our Marina, we're pulling items from downstate. So once again, I'll log in to my account, and you can search for any type of book. Now, the key thing with Marina is we do recommend that you have the title in mind when you search for an item, because it doesn't pull up quite as many. It's more looking for that title, and there are less ways to limit it on that left-hand side. So unfortunately, you know, I don't have as many options to narrow down my search. So we recommend just having that title to make it a little bit easier on yourself, so you're not going through and searching through all of these. There's less pictures, it's a little less user-friendly, but it is still a great tool. But if you have a hard time navigating it, please feel free to give us a call. Even with our catalog, we're always happy to place items on hold for you. And of course, we do always have that advanced search in Marina that you can use to help narrow down and find that specific item you're looking for. So those are two ways to place a hold, both through our catalog and through Marina. In addition to placing items through those two services, we do have an e option for you. We'll go ahead and just show you, this is also on your student resource tab as well. In our ebooks and more, I'm gonna use this as my base. We also have Libby and Overdrive. Libby and Overdrive are how you can get ebooks, e-audiobooks on your tablet, your smartphone, on your browser, however you would like. This connects to the Maryland Digital Library. So the libraries in the state of Maryland have access to this Maryland Digital Library. And so right now I'm currently on, it looks like the kids, because I was on here earlier in the evening. So it gives me a ton of options. You do have to sign up for an account using your library card, but I can browse different collections. Maybe I'm looking for teens because we're looking at high schoolers. We do have a ton of options here. Now, the key thing to remember with the Maryland Digital Library is that there are no fines, there's no fees, there's no overdue books, because it automatically returns to the collection after your selected loan period is done. The only thing that I always keep in mind is sometimes, because there are only so many digital copies left in the state, there might be 10 copies of a popular book or 30 or whatever. Sometimes you have to wait, just like you have to wait sometimes with a popular book in the library. So when that happens, if I have to wait a couple weeks, I like to use Hoopla. Hoopla is another online streaming service that we have. As you can see, it's brought by the library, Allegany County Library. And with Hoopla, you get instant downloads. So you have instant access to audiobooks, movies, music, comics, ebooks, television, all sorts of things. Now, you only get 5 downloads a month. As you can see, I have 4 more titles this month. I'm listening to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and it returns in 12 days. It will automatically return that for me, and it does give me recommendations of things I might be interested. They give you great suggestions up at the top, maybe on a specific theme, and they of course personalize it with favorites and history and all sorts of things. It's great because it is easy to access, and it is instant, which is really great if you're just looking for something in between while waiting for the digital library. Now, the only thing to keep in mind is it does not work with your Star card, but a regular card, you always have access. One more great service is our Canopy. Canopy is basically our library Netflix. It gives us access to, oh, it's been a little slow, but that's okay. It gives access to all sorts of classics and Criterion collection and all sorts of amazing things. You get access to basically a free Netflix provided for by your library. You get 10 play credits, so 10 plays a month. And there are some really great selections here. So if you're looking for a specific movie for a class, it might have it. So it's worth checking out. In addition to Canopy, we have one more really fun service that we like to showcase. And that is our Mango languages. So I'm going to go ahead and you can find that on that student resource page. I already have the tab up. We're just going to watch a brief video on Mango languages. It's kind of like our Rosetta Stone, but for our library.
Built to help you start the conversation in over 70 world languages and dialects by gaining proficiency in speaking, listening, reading, and culture. It's language learning done right, covering topics and phrases that you'll actually use in real conversation. We take those phrases and break them down piece by piece, allowing you to commit them to memory. You'll notice Mango's unique color mapping, helping you connect the language intuitively, seeing the relationships between words and stealthily picking up grammar cues. And Mango is interactive, helping you to sound out even the trickiest words. Mango only uses audio from native speakers, so you can hear new words correctly and say it right with voice comparison, a better way to gauge your pronunciation by seeing and hearing it compared to our native speaker audio. Strengthen your knowledge with our grammar and cultural notes, gaining grammar competency and context and a deeper cultural understanding. And when it's time to bring everything back together, you'll have the confidence to do it yourself and even build upon what you've learned.
So that is Mango Languages. It really is a great tool that we have that you can use. You do just sign up with your library card, and then they have, as they said, 70 plus different languages that you can check out and learn. If you use Duolingo, this is very similar to Duolingo or Rosetta Stone, if that's something that you've done before. I have found, I visited Italy for my honeymoon last year, and I found that when I did Mango versus Duolingo, I actually retained the information better. It wasn't as fun necessarily, but it stuck, and it still was fun in its own way. This is definitely a great resource that we have that you can use to kind of learn and grow and continue using in your life even beyond school. So we'll go ahead and go back to Tony for 2 more highlights of some of our great resources.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. Let me see here. And if I go down to Newsbank, Newsbank is a great resource for current events, and lots of students do current events in their high school and classes, and they have to do presentations for current event time during their social studies. And so I'm going to log in here to this as soon as it's syncing. It's kind of, there we go. So Newsbank, you can find topics in here from news that happens locally or regionally, nationally, all over. We can go ahead and here and if I were to find a topic, it's going kind of slow, so just bear with me. But I believe earlier I was doing a search and I typed in Allegany County Library. And so it'll bring up articles and news articles. Children will receive free books. So there you go, Kate. That's a good thing that Kate was on board with helping to get organized. And this is from October 12th, 2020. You can sort this and make it smaller or larger, but debate it or define the dates in this area and what you're looking for specifically. You can do journals, magazines, newspapers, and this provides a great resource for students who are looking to find those news articles for their current event or whatever they're looking to find for information that is good content that they're going to find. And so a lot of times, just like Google search doesn't give you the information that you would want to come up with. Some of those Google searches are very limited, and it may be specific to your region or area or the people in your area. So this provides you with a broader range of what you can look for. And this will go nationally, in your state, nationally, and worldwide. You can use Newsbank. The other section down, let me go down a little bit more. Actually, I'm going to go back to our middle and high school in just a moment. These are our daily headlines and lesson plans. So there's lesson plans on there as well for educators. So there's some great resources to get comfortable with here on Newsbank. I'm just kind of briefly mentioning these right now because I want to stay on task here and on time. If you go back into, let's see, middle school, and this is in the World Book is also in the high school, I believe, as well. World Book is another updated and great resource for research. And they keep this one updated as well. I said we were talking before, and if you remember your big volumes of World Book, this is all now online. And so kids can access it at their level, students at their level, and there's timelines in here too. So that's another great feature that you can check out. So if you were to, you can browse by subject. It's a little bit lagging, but give me a second. There we go. Okay, so you can browse World Book by subject, or you can type in the search bar up here. If you were to look in history and maybe you wanted to study some history in North America, they'll give you options and then break it down for you so that'll help you put it into different categories. So if you read more of the article, this toolbar, this little wheel up here, this screw, I guess, I don't know. You can look on here and you can save this item, you can share it, print it, cite it again, just like our Gale resources. You can translate it in different language and is just like Gale, and you can also edit the text size. It will also read this to you as well. So if you're having trouble with some of the terminology or words in this, you can have a voice reading this to you, which is really great. And I love, I mean, there's the how to cite the articles there. And I love how just there's so many different ways that you can save your information, that you can share it right to, I'm pretty sure this one you can do, yeah, share it to Google Classroom. So this too, you can share that way. So there's lots of good resources here. There's a section down here for educators, and we went over that a little the other night, and there's lots of resources. I think there's some web quests in there and some more, but I'm not going to keep going on and on about these because part of the time you just have to experience them and get used to them. But we are always here if you have questions and need help navigating it. If we don't know the answer, we'll find it out for you, the answer for you. We can contact the people who even who do this all day long for a living, who are in the representatives for these products. So back here, there is one other one, TrueFlix, and I'm not going to go into it, but this is a nice starting point for middle schoolers, older middle school students, or beginning middle school students, older elementary. The TrueFlix will, it's a scholastic resource, and it'll just give you a breakdown of nonfiction titles and videos to go with each of these subjects. So keep that in mind. There's lots more resources than what we're going over right now. So just take some time to explore what is available within each of these sections. And like I said, we are more than willing and really want to partner with you and help you work through some of these resources. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Courtney.
All right, so we've went through a lot. Like I said earlier, there are so many things you can do with a lot of these that you could spend an entire night on just one resource. But we are going to open up the floor to any questions you may have. Anyone, you can either, if you're a little camera shy, you can always place them in the comments if you'd like us to showcase another resource or want any contact information. We're happy to do that. We're here for you. All right. Tony and I will stay on here for a few more minutes, but if you do not have any questions, oh yeah, John, that is right. Best part is they're 24/7, yes. Rich, they're fantastic. Thanks for bringing these forward. Now to show my son since I couldn't get him to watch. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to get those high schoolers to get involved. My brother's a freshman at Allegany, so I understand that. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We, of course, will be sharing this recording on our YouTube here within the week, and we appreciate everyone that joined us tonight. So thank you so much.